Welcome back to the program. I'm Shilpa Kannan in Delhi. Now, January is the busiest time of the year for fitness clubs and gyms as most people begin their new year with a pledge to do more exercise. Most of these businesses in India are locally owned, but international chains are muscling in. They include Fitness First, which has been growing strongly in Asia, but after a slow start is only just beginning its Indian expansion. Sameer Hashmi caught up with Chief Executive Andy Cosslett and asked him how working here compared with other parts of Asia.
The biggest difference that I would observe in Mumbai and in Delhi is the lack of organised transport systems to the same degree as you would find, for instance, nowadays in Bangkok and some of the other cities. Singapore, obviously, where they have very sophisticated transport systems. For us to find those places that are on those transit stops is more difficult in India, but that's just a question of time. Finding the right location is something we're spending a lot of time on and making sure that the product we offer is there for the people who want to use it. But it might just take us a bit longer than it would do in some of the other Asian markets where we've already become number one.
A lot of gyms have found it difficult to really operate in this market. A lot of them have shut down over the last few years. In that sense, is it difficult to get the right business model?
What we are very confident we now have here for India is a business model and a proposition that talks to people from a particular market segment who are really interested in what we're doing. The traditional method of operating gyms was basically open a room full of kit and you called yourself a gym. Well, that's like having a building full of beds and calling it the Taj Hotel Group, and it's different. There's a whole complex issue of infrastructure issues, facilities management, training and education, and I think some of our smaller competitors, the ones who have failed to invest in those people issues particularly, have fallen by the wayside.
The other big issue about India is there are a lot of health issues that are rising in the country. It's known as the global capital for diabetes. Hypertension is rising, is the third most obese country in the world. In that sense, do you think Indians will start taking health more seriously or fitness more seriously? Because traditionally, that's not been the case here.
Yes, it's an evolutionary process though, because as rising incomes take place, then awareness of those issues really becomes greater. And we've seen that in other countries who have gone through similar growth curves themselves. We're expecting over the next 10 or 15 years, not just in India, but everywhere, much more focus from governments and from people themselves in their own lives, understanding the benefits of activity and of having a very activity-full life. Because we know it's not just looking good and staying in shape and watching your weight. There is no doubt, and the evidence is in very clearly, that exercise in your life has a tremendous effect on many aspects, and the prevention of some of the illnesses that you described. I think India, as its economic fortunes improve dramatically as they are doing, will go through a huge increase in awareness of the benefits of exercise.
Fitness First Chief Executive Andy Cosslett speaking to Sameer Hashmi there. Right, let's take a look at some of the other stories making business headlines this week.